Hello everyone, my name is Krista Harmon-Overlock. I am a beauty guide with LimeLife by Alcone, and today I'm going to talk to you about having a LimeLife skincare consultation. The do's and the don'ts, what to say, what not to say, and to let your customer walk away from this consultation feeling empowered, understanding what they need to use for their skin to look and feel amazing. So the most important tip I can give you is to not overcomplicate the process. Keep it as simple and easy to understand as possible, because if you make it too complicated, oftentimes you will lose the customer. They will not understand what they're supposed to use when, and we don't want that. We want them to use the products confidently, and we want them to use them regularly. And so that way you'll have customers coming back for more. So when you start talking to a customer, it's really important to not give them too much information. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, as I just mentioned, it can overwhelm them. It can leave them feeling like this is too much for them. They're going to run to the store and get their skincare. There are too many decisions. But it is also important to show that you are not the expert. Even though you might be an expert in skincare, you want to be able you want your customers to understand that they can see themselves in your shoes, because oftentimes your customers are your next team members. So while it's so important to understand what our products do and how to use them, it's just as important to give your customers that confidence that not only do they know how to use the products, but they also could see themselves doing what you're doing. So that is really, really important. Understanding and learning your products is something you absolutely do need to do. But when you're discussing this with your customers, you need to do it in layman's terms or more generic terms. Let the products speak for themselves. Let them test the products. Let them try the products. Set up a little washing station if you can, if it's something in person. This is a really great way to sell our skincare. The skincare really does speak for itself. It's phenomenal. It's, as far as I'm concerned, the best out there. So let's talk first. The very first thing we're going to talk to our customers about, we're going to ask them a couple of really important questions. And all of these questions are really specific to guide you to what you are going to recommend, what products you're going to recommend to this customer. So the first question is, what is their skincare routine? You need to determine what they're actually going to use without feeling that they are being oversold. So for example, you will have people who say, I don't wash my face. You will have people who say, I only wash when I take a shower. You will have people who say they only wash in the morning or only wash at night. So that will give you an idea of how important their skincare is in their life. If you have somebody who washes regularly morning and night and moisturizers, then you kind of have an idea of what they are looking for or what products you can introduce to them. You don't want to overwhelm them by giving them cleansers and moisturizers and boosters and body products, and they're not going to use any of it, because I can tell you right now they'll never come back as a customer. The next question is to find out, what is their skin type? I mean, this is really, really important. Is it dry? Is it acne prone and oily? Is it a combination? Do they have mature skin? Sometimes you can find women with mature skin who don't have dry skin. So really get an idea of what they feel their skin type is. And along with that, ask them if they have any skin issues that they're concerned about. So you're going to get information like dryness, flakiness, oily, acne or any kind of blemishes, eczema, psoriasis, so major skin issues, rosacea, age spots. Maybe they're concerned about age spots. That will target into a very specific product. Wrinkles and fine lines. I mean, that's another specific product that you'll be able to then introduce them to. So as you're having this conversation, whether it be by phone or in person, Jot down this information so that when you're going then through the product, introducing them to the different products that you recommend to them, you are not asking the same question over and over again, and they'll feel that they're in very good hands with you as their beauty guide. And the final question that is really important is, do they have any known allergies? It's not uncommon for people to be allergic to some of the ingredients in our products and in all products. Even though our products are very natural and very organic, not all of them are organic, but naturally produced and naturally found, that it is very important that you understand that they may be allergic to that, to one or more of the ingredients. So remember that. So now that we have a really good idea of what kind of skincare person are they, how much are they going to use, what is their skin type, and what issues are they really concerned about, we really have a good grasp on what products we're going to start introducing. So now we have those ideas. So we're going to keep it very simple. When we talk about what we're introducing, typically the first product you're going to introduce is a cleanser. Oftentimes people will say, I love my cleanser. What else can you recommend? If they do that, that's totally fine. You go on to the next step. But keeping it simple in that you're not going to be talking so much about what the names of the products are, but more about how they are used and what they feel like. For example, the cleansers. You will say, I'm going to recommend a creamy cleanser for you because you have been talking about the fact that your skin is very dry or you are concerned with fine lines and wrinkles. So we're talking about we want more moisture added. If they have oily or acne-prone skin, we're going to recommend a foaming cleanser, which would be our Dream Clean. So instead of saying, I'm going to recommend Dream Clean, which means nothing to them, talk about why you're recommending the foaming cleanser or the creamy cleanser. It gets them to understand more, and they know then that you're really listening to what their needs are. And then that goes as well. So we're talking about a cleanser, we're talking about a moisturizer, we're talking about oils. Not using so much the One Drop Wonder or the Sotox, because they won't remember the names. They will remember what it's used for. Everyone knows what a cleanser does. Everyone knows what a moisturizer does. And it empowers them to use these products and gets them to understand these products much better. So that is a big recommendation for me, for you, is to really just keep it simple. You can obviously talk about the product name, but then when you're really going through it with them and how they're supposed to use the products, just talk about the use of the product, the cleanser, the moisturizer, the oil. Booster is a word that we use. Most people don't really know what that is. You could call it a serum. Most people do understand that. Also ensure that while you're talking about what products you've given them or recommend for them, let them know that the order of how they use these products after they've cleansed doesn't really matter. Our products are used so beautifully in conjunction with one another. In the end, yes, there is a recommended order, which you can certainly share with them, but it's not crucial to the outcome. So the main goal is to get them to actually start using that and loving the products. So if they get caught up on what order they need to use it on, you will often, again, find customers just sort of give up and they go back to their old routine of using one thing a day or whatever it is, something they're comfortable with. So you want them to get comfortable with what they're using, these new products, how they're using them, and what the purposes are for them. I've had to even write down, the cleanser. It's called Quench Cleanse. Use this first. Sometimes people really want the order, but just make sure you let them know it's not absolutely necessary to have any order whatsoever. And closing. So now that they've understand, you've given them the products that that are recommended for them. They understand how to use them. They understand what they're using them for. That's when I would start talking about any other additional products that they might be interested in. Any of the body products. If they are talking about their hands being dry, that's when you would obviously introduce 40 Cure. I always introduce 40 Cure cream to everybody because it is such a well-loved product for anyone's skin. So talk about the shower products, talk about the body products, all of the scrubs, anything that's additional. And you could just say, you know, you should smell this or you should try this. No pressure to purchase those, but let them know that they exist. And the other part that I add additional is when I start adding or talking about and recommending additional products will be for major issues that they're concerned about. Sunspots, any kind of pigmentation, wrinkles, eczema. That's when you can add new products that will help those specific issues. Another way I add additional products is if a season is about to change. So if we're coming into summer, that's when you would introduce or let them see our sunscreen. Or if winter is on its way, that's when you're going to add maybe some of the creamy body products or the exfoliating facial masks or anything like that. You know, that's very specific. Another very specific with the issue is if they have teens in their house. I will often talk about great acne fighting mask, the Mask of Zen. Other family members, their husband, our men's products are phenomenal. So just to let them know that these other products exist outside of what the regimen you just gave them is really important to have a lifelong customer with them. And it makes them feel like there's more out there for them to try. And it's exciting that you're not, for me, I don't push on every single product that we have right away because it's completely overwhelming. So start with the basic, move out to the extras, bring in family members, friends, husbands, all of that, wives, and that will allow you to show off the rest of our product line. And in final closing, after you have gone through all of those steps, I always let them know that I will follow up with them in a little over a week just to see how everything's going, to see how they're liking everything. And then I also let them know that it's I give them my cell phone number. I let them know my email. They have absolutely can reach out to me with any questions that they may have. I want them to know that I am their beauty guide and I am here to help them through any questions, concerns that they may have. And you absolutely will get phone calls or texts or emails. And that's great. That's exactly how we want to be seen in their eyes. When they think of their skincare, they're thinking of you. And then finally, let them know or ask them to share if they love the products. Ask them to share with friends and family. People will be happy to do that. Let their friends know why their face looks so good and what they're loving about the LimeLife skincare line. So that is it. I hope that was helpful, and I hope that your first LimeLife skincare consultation is a huge success. Bye, everyone.